Why is it that when there's an attack, the fatality is usually high? Why?
Well, you will want to agree with me that the tendency after the arrest of the kingpin of cross-border banditry was to rest a little bit on the oars. And don't forget also that there have been a lot of calls for uh, security consciousness on the part of Nigerians and obliging of information from Nigerians through working in tandem with the police, as Doctor had said. Nigerians are not up and coming in their responsibility and obligation to the state of this country by working in tandem and hand in hand and hand in cuff with the police. So it is a question of, when I say resting on ours, it's a question of resting on ours of the information flow from members of the public to the police. These criminals are not living in the barracks. These criminals are living with us outside, and people know them, but people are afraid to come out. So I want to make a clarion call to Nigerians to be patriotic enough, to have that sense of duty, to come out, to be nationalistic enough, to come out with the veritable information on the character, identity, and hideouts of these people. Then at police level, let me sound a note of warning to criminals that we are more than ever going to massively treat them. They have done this, but I assure you that in the next 48 hours, something good is going to happen. All these criminals will be flushed out, and I'm sure all hands are now on deck. We have put our hands on deck, but we need the hands on deck of Nigerians also to assist us, as they did in fishing out that notorious criminal called Hamani Tijani. We have to work. Security is collective business. It's collective responsibility for all. To work with the police, OPC has to work with the police within the context of information sourcing and not within the context of extrajudicial killing or taking laws into their hands. We can work together. As he has said now, his faction can work together in tandem with the police to bring crime wave to the lowest ebb. Other groups can come up, particularly now that we are now sensitizing Nigerians about community partnership in policing. We are now bringing policing to the grassroots, asking members of the community to come and work with us, to form a partnership with us, to work together, to get information, to obtain intelligence, so that we can now fish out these people who are living within us in our ranks and in our midst. But at the police level, I want to assure that we are up and doing. We have more vehicles, we have communication setup, network now, and we have firepower now to give fire for fire. Don't forget that just recently we were able to nip at the bud the bullion van killings in Ondo State. We were able to get them immediately. These ones have done and they thought they have gone away with it, but they have not gone very far. We are going to network them and get them arrested within the shortest possible time. So, but let us know for once that we have to work together. Security is collective business.
We have common criminals. When you arrest them, you actually treat them like criminals. But some people who watch CrimeFighters accosted me and said, why was that man behaving like a king? He's not treated like a criminal. What's your reaction to this?
My reaction to that is that don't forget that he's an international criminal and a lot of people are watching. We are showcasing Nigeria as a humanist and fundamentally a country that respects human rights. Don't forget that the constitution even in this country says the person is innocent until found guilty. But don't forget also that the World Human Organization, all these big Amnesty International, they're all watching. What are we going to do this criminal with this criminal? They felt that we are Hobbesian, we're going to manipulate him, drag him, kill him. Some people had started in the international press to allege that the Nigerian police have vacillated, they have killed the man. So while we are letting him have his peace of mind to give us useful information on the character, identity of all his accomplices in this country, and we have very, very robust information so far. And we have made additional arrests of more than 20 notorious criminals through handling him with some modicum of respect for human rights. So those people saying that don't understand constitutional provision. Constitutionally, it is our duty to respect any person who is alleged to have caused or been found in criminal activity until the contrary has been proved and he's taken to the law court to face charges against him. Thank God today internationally Nigerian police is respected. We are now more than before humanists, and we are in the human face in crime prevention and crime criminal.
The recognition you give to Hamani, who is a notorious armed robber who has been terrorizing this country for a long time, is uncalled for, because you have not extended a similar recognition of human rights to Nigerian suspects. All right, I'm not talking of convicts now, but those who have been suspected to have committed a similar crime. See their situation in our detention centers, in our prisons. So if you are treating Hamani the way you treat him because you think there should be, you should appreciate his human rights, I think Nigerian suspects too deserve recognition of their human rights.
Yes, Doctor, I quite appreciate your fears, but here is a situation where we are being watched from international level, and apart from that, we have more than ever before now started giving respect even to our criminals, except where criminals are found in operation, in the face-to-face encounter. That's where it's going to be fire for fire. That's where we came with that acronym of massive onslaught on armed robbers. Well, on operation, if the police meets a robbery suspect in operation terrorizing people, there has to be fire for fire. That is the aspect of being inhuman at times in court, but when a man is arrested, it is the duty of the police to give him that modicum of respect for his constitutional rule and his constitutional need, because the Constitution says a man is presumed innocent until otherwise found, proved. So we are now trying to wear a human face even in the Nigerian police force. You go to international or where you call settled society, somebody is a criminal and says, good morning sir, please, you're under arrest now. And they take you and give you your pride in place. If you see the prison system, that's why we're asking for reform in every aspect of Nigerian society. We're asking for prison reform, we're asking for police reform, we're asking for military reform, we're asking for political reform. So in totality, we're now wanting to showcase Nigeria as a country that is moving forward and moving hand in glove with what is happening in settled society. So it should not be strange.
Are you satisfied with his response?
I don't mean this is not a debating forum. I don't want to take him very much on that.
Okay.
I like to take him on trust, because I visited the prisons. I was at Kirikiri about 2 weeks ago, and the condition in which I saw some suspects awaiting trial. My God, if Nigerians are treated like that, there's no pride in being a Nigerian.
Now, the relationship between the police and the public, do you think it has improved over time?
That's why there's improvement in their services to the community. The relationship has improved a little, but they still have a lot of work to do. Not many Nigerians feel confident
Why?
to go to the police and say, look, that's a criminal there.
Why? Yeah.
The moment they turn their back, the police to whom you reported will go to that criminal to say, so and so has come in to report you. You better take to your heels. And of course, when such a criminal gets to know somebody who has given him up, what do you expect? They go to confront such.
Doctor, we've had those. I see it as fairy tales. I've always confronted people who come up with such accusation that it's a fairy tale.
I have an experience of somebody who saved lives on, who saved a few lives on the expressway, and he couldn't catch the victims, all of them, to the hospital. So he went to the nearby police station to report the accident, and he was tacitly stopped there. He couldn't continue with his journey. They said he was an accomplice to that accident. Of course, that type of person will not come to give you information on accident on our highways next time. All right. This is why I say the police will have to modify their own system. We're happy they're beginning to understand the Nigerian people. The Nigerian people are the simplest people on earth to deal with. They're very accommodating.
Yeah, we have a survey that said they're the happiest people in the world.
Yes.
Recently.
Yes. They're very easy to deal with. They're prepared to assist law enforcement. But law enforcement agents must also understand the people. When you detain somebody who comes in to give you information about an accident on the highway, his relative will not do it again. When you go back to the criminal to say, look, Dr. Fasehun came to report you, Dr. Fasehun will not come to submit any information to the police next time. Whatever information is given to the police must be treated with utmost confidentiality. They should pass this on right through the pyramidal structure of the police.
So what you're saying in essence is that there's still this cat and mouse loss of trust between the police and the public. It's still there.
It's still there. Rome was not built in a day. It's improving, but we hope that the speed will be greater.
Yeah.
Yes, I must acknowledge that had been the thing that had colonial relic, had colonial upbringing, has had colonial antecedent right from colonial times because of the nature of policing. Because the colonial masters, when they set up the police force, used the police.
But Mr. Lakwe, the colonialist is gone for
giving,
years.
No, I'm giving historical background to this cat and mouse relationship between the public and the police. It had been long, arising from the modus operandi of the police and what they were used to do those days, and what they were want to be used for before the advent of this democratic dispensation, using them to crack down on people and stuff. So people are afraid to come very close to the police. But now, look at democratic air blowing now. The police and the public are now coming more than ever before very close. They're interacting now. That's why the IG is saying robust public relations is one of the center point of his 8-point program, and with a view to establishing a people-friendly police force and a friendly oriented people towards the police force. So once we get friendly and we can approach each other on mutual understanding and trust, which we are building up now, we are building blocks of trust amongst ourselves now. That's why we have now sent officers, about 20 of them, for international orientation on community policing, so that they will now come with what they've seen in Britain. We're using Britain as the first police institution to give us foundation stone, which we are laying now for more friendly rapport with members of the public. So by the time these officers come, we will now pass the information down the line from top to the bottom, and then we'll now begin to relate more warmly with the public. So we're trying to create a situation where the public will no longer treat the policeman as an enemy, but more closely as friends, as partners in progress of securing environment. And that is what we are doing now. And that's that vision that will lead us to the people's police.
What do you think is the way forward for Nigeria Police Force?
This type of information, they should have a weekly program to orientate and educate the Nigerian masses, literate, illiterate, old,